the disco, but I think it gets the real message out as well that at times in life there are situations when you cannot control your heart, and I mean those palpitations are reoccurring. You feel stress, you get high blood pressure figures as well, and then there are so many other problems.
Yes.
Eventually, you end up going to the hospital, and they end up giving you Androl, and that's the time when you relax, and that's it.
Okay, but these are measures that you don't want to get to. These
Yeah.
are situations or states that you do not want to reach, because there are alternative methods and solutions to manage day-to-day stresses and anxiety.
And you definitely have to practice that too, ladies and gentlemen,
Absolutely.
because meditation has to be done repeatedly, and for all those people who miss out on all of that routine, I think are going to fall back to the situation
Exactly.
which they were in already.
And I think we have very loose definitions and what these things mean, because when you are truly meditating, when you're truly reflecting, and you're looking and reflecting on life, it's a very quiet zone. Things are very clear. You're meant to focus on stuff, but we've got experts in the studio to help us manage our day-to-day stresses, and we're actually going to find out what are the common themes that are affecting people's peace of mind these days as well.
And it's just like that, for example, ladies and gentlemen, I can move my finger whenever I feel like, that, okay, like this, probably, or like this, or my legs. But these two things, brain and heart, no matter how much you try, they're just out of your control.
No.
For example, just imagine being in love.
Okay, oh gosh, Shazan. Of course. No, I completely disagree with that statement. I think you are completely in control of your heart and your brain.
Really?
Absolutely.
Oh, no, but that's when panic attack actually hits you,
I know,
when both of these things are not in your control.
No, but that's the thing. It's about learning the methods.
They get out of control.
It's about learning the methods to be able to handle all of life stresses. So to discuss all of this, discuss what techniques we need, what do we need to introduce into our lives, you'll be joined by wonderful guest, and Shazad is going to do
So on my right-hand side, ladies and gentlemen, he's a great guy. He's a dear friend, and I just call him on the every second or third of every month, and because we had to deal with some other issues. He's a film actor too. He's featured in a film. Well, this introduction wasn't necessary, but he's a spiritual healer. He's a counselor. He's none other than Mr. Amar Shah. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum salam, Shazad. Thank you for having me.
And he's one of those guys who's actually taller than me, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, no, really tall. I was really surprised. I didn't expect anyone taller than Shazad.
Yeah, and last but not the least, he once again is a spiritual healer. She's been on the show. She's a counselor. She's a founder of Violet Circus. She's none other than Miss Shabana Ali. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum, ji.
Well,
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you very
joining
much for
us.
joining us.
Thank you,
So let's
thank you.
get the conversation started. Shabana, we're going to get the conversation started with you as well. So, yeah, what happens then?
Okay, let me ask you
why
first.
all of these things happen?
You asked two broad questions
No,
for the first
it's
one.
cool.
Let me-
It's cool.
Okay.
Because she's the founder of Violet Circle. This
Okay.
is what they do. They get together. So why do you think all of these things are happening to all of us, and even to young people? Do you think that it's because of the time we live in?
I don't think it's about time, because it's more about you. The more you know about yourself, you know how to control yourself. You both were talking about the mind and heart control. Basically, you can control your symptoms by knowing yourself. So when people come to me with all these issues, these days people are, generally people are going through anxiety and stress.
Okay.
So usually we suggest them to calm down and do some meditation, as you said. There are simple meditation techniques. We all can do them at home, and we can gather ourselves, because this routine, whatever we are doing all the day, and especially this social media and all the demands of life, they can stress people, and they can get panicked
Okay.
in certain situations, but they need to gather themselves, and they need to clear this clutter from head every day.
And you've highlighted some really important points. So I want to talk about that. Let's bring it back. Let's make it onto micro level. And before I bring Amar into the conversation, I just want to ask you, Shabana. You're both counselors. You're healers as well. What are the common themes that you're seeing with people that are coming? Let's narrow it down to a few.
Depression,
Okay.
Depression,
But what are the
anxiety,
triggers
stress.
of these things that people
Basically, people keep on suppressing their feelings inside them. For example, if you're feeling angry and you don't want to express your anger, or you are feeling scared of some situation and you don't want to express your fear, so you keep on suppressing your emotions inside yourself, because we don't know, we are not taught in school or by parents how to release your emotions and how to be free,
Okay.
emotionally free. This emotional freedom is very important
Okay.
for your emotional and physical health as well,
Because
because
that's a really good
So,
point.
so then
emotional
what
freedom.
happens is that, we obviously have a container for everything, ladies and gentlemen. When you keep on suppressing it, then the jar just bursts open too as well at times. But Amar, since you're a dear friend too as well, but aren't you too young to be a spiritual healer, first of all? And how did you actually started your journey? Because I think if you've done it at such a good age, you'll be fine for the rest of your life, inshallah.
Well, I started off about 5 years back from now. And it all started by obviously having a heightened sense of senses all around. For example, I did realize there was something off with me, if you may, out of the normal.
Okay.
So I started taking interest, and obviously I met Ms. Shabana as a mentor, as a counselor, and she actually told me exactly what I was going through.
Okay.
So after that, it's been a long, long road. Obviously, this is something the world of mysticism is really alluring to, but obviously we live in this world. We have to create a balance, strike a balance, as you know. I work doing stuff. So yes, I am young, but we don't know how long I may live.
So what helped you? I think this might be a very apt question because quite a lot of people might experience the same feeling. So how did Ms. Shabana help you earlier when she became your mentor? And then what were the feelings you were going through? Because just saying that, okay, I had a heightened sense of things being around me, or, those feelings or those emotions. But quite a lot of people cannot see that because they're too busy in their normal life.
Very well, Sajid. This is the thing that I try to tell almost everybody I interact with. We all have the same hardware and the same software.
Yeah.
It's the human mind, we have a body. And as human beings and as spiritual beings, I strongly believe that all the time God is communicating to us. He's deputed angels for our betterment. What we can't do is interpret the messages.
Yeah.
The best way to do that is obviously get to lessen the disparity between your body and soul.
Okay.
How do you do that? That is by practicing stillness, nothingness. And Ma'am Shabana, obviously, I was symptoms were like just as an example, so you can understand this better. I started having overwhelming feeling of something that was about to happen.
Okay.
So I did not know how to ground that.
Okay.
I did not know how to shut that off. And she, in turn, obviously told me how to ground that and to enhance that and to use it for my benefit.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was it.
Okay, so that's very important. Like, you met someone who was able to guide you and, kind of help you overcome the emotional overloading that was potentially
It was
happening.
very overwhelming, yeah.
Okay, so now let me ask Shabana then. You're meeting people regularly, and you said, we don't have that emotional freedom. So when we're feeling something, we're taught to kind of either repress it or kind of, it's not a big deal, like just put it aside.
Yeah.
Don't make a big deal out of this. So now how do we change that mentality, especially when it's so embedded within the culture or within our own programming? Because we're all pretty chatty within our
Yeah, or
groups
do
and
you
stuff.
think that it is in our control to avoid that feeling too?
It can be in control, but usually people are not in control of their feelings. And usually their feelings are basically controlling them.
Okay. Yes, exactly. We're reactive rather than not in charge of it.
Yes, we are reactive.
Yeah,
Mostly
exactly.
we are reactive.
Just about giving recognition to the feeling is the main thing. There's some feelings that we sometimes tend to avoid.
Okay.
Anything you feel regarding any person, any situation, you should give it recognition because it should not create an illusion in your life.
Yeah.
For example, we were discussing a while back things about social media and how fast life is nowadays and how influenced we are by social media and films and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facebook and everything because
They're
when
consuming us.
Yeah, when we open our Facebook post, we see 3 friends checking into places
Yeah.
to different countries. So I also know people who strike a chord of jealousy or feel deprived that why not me? So recognize this emotion and ask yourself the question, why not me? And if you cannot answer that, so you can ask somebody who knows, who can actually intrude into your own mind and tell you.
Okay.
Exactly.
So it's like passive messaging.
No, it's more like, what he means to say is when you ask yourself, questions about that situation. You felt deprived. So you need to recognize that I am feeling deprived, because we usually don't recognize these things. And we don't want to admit such things, that I was feeling deprived or I was feeling envious. So daily, give yourself 5 minutes in the evening and think about all the feelings you had been going through this whole day. Face them, feel them fully. You know, the cure of pain is inside the pain. Go deeper into that pain. Give it recognition. Even if you have any fear, just recognize your fear. Give it recognition.
You know, but see, that's the thing that's so important that we talk about this, because even with all the psychologists that I was speaking to in UK as well, a lot of my friends have gone into that profession as well. It's that, you know, we say, oh, we've lost control, or I'm feeling anxiety. It's about breaking down, why am I feeling this? Why is this, looking at this picture, why is it causing me to feel sadness?
Every feeling is actually in turn causing an energy. It's all about balance. We're meant to live our life in a balance. If any feeling is getting overwhelming, that means the energy is getting out of balance. So as Ma'am said, and as Shazad Bhai also stated, meditation is a very, very important technique. And nowadays, when we seldom give our subconscious a rest, it's never at a rest. We're continuously in a battle, and we're all day, from since we wake up to when we sleep.
Yes.
So
Sorry, no, continue.
So we're getting confused.
Yeah. Sorry.
So we're getting very, very frustrated. So in turn, what we have to do is we have to balance all of those emotions. So in turn, we can think more clearly and gain a hold of our subconscious.
Yeah.
Very nice. And
I'm
we
trying to
definitely
control my
and we need to
conscious
try
right
how
now.
to do that meditation too,
being
in a
very
while. Now, Ms. Shabana,
Yes,
since you
that's
very
very
rightly said, and I'm not disagreeing, but I think that there can be other factors. I mean, sorry that if you, for example, are being deprived of, you know, something which you wanted in life, if you were being envious, what are the other factors? Okay, these two we have, you know, you just said failure
Failure can be another factor, then
or extraordinary success.
success, yes.
Yeah, I think because if we are going to find the cure of the pain within the pain, then I think success can be one of the factors too.
Yes, that is a factor, because when you are not prepared to have success and you don't know what you want to do with success, then you can be in despair.
Yeah.
Success can put you in some unwanted
Problems,
situation.
yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
that's interesting. But now we have, before we continue onto the solutions and the different meditation techniques, we have got a trailer with you to share. It's called Inside Out. Let's take a look at what's happening within our bodies. It's a really fun animation, and we'll take it from
Let me
there.
take it up.
Okay, well.
So, how was the first day of school?
It was fine, I guess. I don't know. Do you ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
Did you guys pick up on that?
Sure did.
Something's wrong. We're gonna find out what's happening, but we'll need support. Signal the husband.
With a nice pass over to Reeves, comes across center ice.
Uh-oh, she's looking at us. What did she say?
What? Oh, sorry, sir. No one was listening.
Is it garbage night? We left the toilet seat up. What? What is it, woman? What?
Signal him again.
Ah, so, Riley, how was school?
You gotta be kidding me.
For this, we gave up that Brazilian helicopter pilot?
School was great, all right?
What was that? I thought you said we were gonna act casual.
Riley, is everything okay?
Sir, she just rolled her eyes at us.
All right, make a show of force. I don't want to have to put the foot down.
No, not the foot.
Riley, I do not like this new attitude.
Oh, I'll show you attitude, old man.
No. Breathe.
What is your problem? Just leave me alone.
Sir, reporting high levels of sass.
Take it to DEFCON 2.
DEFCON 2.
I don't know where this disrespectful attitude came from.
You want a piece of this, Pops?
Yeah, well, look.
Prepare the foot.
Keys to safety position. Ready to launch on your command, sir.
Just shut up!
Fire!
That's it. Go to your room.
The foot is down. The foot is down. Woo!
Good job, gentlemen. That could have been a disaster.
Well, that was a disaster.
Come, fly with me, Cachinha.
So that was Inside Out. It's a wonderful film. If you haven't seen it, do check it out. It's about all the emotions and their different personalities. And just before we move on to the meditation techniques, as Shazad mentioned before we shared this trailer with you, I just wanted to talk about one more thing, which we've been noticing as well, is that in an era of mindfulness, where everyone's like, be positive, focus on the good things, life is what you make it, you know, good. It's almost making negative feelings like sadness or, you know, pain or loss feel abnormal. What are your thoughts about this?
Everybody's preaching about being positive, and being happy, having more joy in your life. And Facebook is one of these mediums, which is, everybody's showing off their being happy, having good time, having party. So these things are creating a lot of burden on people, because you cannot be positive in all situations. You can look at the positive aspect of some negative situation in your life, but you cannot be positive. That's what I was trying to say, that 5 to 10 minutes every day, think about all the negative things that happened that day. So what you felt in those situations, in that certain situation, one particular situations or multiple situations, what did you feel? Feel all the negative feelings. Feel sadness, loneliness. Feel your mistakes, whatever mistakes you did, and how you are feeling about it. Feel all the shame, guilt, everything, and then release them. So when that becomes your pattern, you don't hold those things, bad feelings within. And you keep on releasing them.
All right, so now very quickly, how can we relax? How can we meditate? If you can share a few exercises too as well, so that we can do it
this
right
is
now.
itself a meditation. Thinking about your whole day and thinking about negative
the day
feelings.
just started.
And you have to do it at the end of the day.
I'd just like to add a very quick meditation, which I've done for myself. It's been very beneficial, very helpful for me. This is basically what we're doing is we're giving our subconscious a rest. So what we have to do is we have to sit in a relaxed position with our back straight, and it's preferably to put your hands on your knees. You can put them in any comfortable position like this, preferably over your stomach like this. So what you have to do is you have to make sure that you're relaxed completely. You have no other distractions. You close your eyes, and the purpose of this is to clear your head for as long as you can with no thought whatsoever.
Mr. Producer, now don't speak in my ear, okay? I'm telling you, don't speak in my ear. I'm meditating.
You can speak in my ear, it's fine, I'll listen.
It's easier said than done, I know. So when I started off, there were a million things in my mind. I could not clear my mind. So what I did was, I started counting. The only thing I used to focus on was the counting in my head. So I started counting from 1 to 30. I proceeded to 40, and now I'm able to do it without counting. So what that does is it gives our subconscious a much needed rest.
But you're still talking, man. Come on, I cannot focus.
Well, this is a show, Shazad. Come on, relax on the show.
Sorry.
Now I'm done, so you can try doing this stuff.
Okay. Are you thinking of a black empty room?
You're again talking.
Exhale from the mouth.
Okay, so on that note...
And now my producer was talking.
He just got so many demands, but on that note, we're going to share a video with you. These kind of videos also help to take the edge and the stress of life. You know, cute things make people happy. They're so cute and cuddly. You want to...
Yeah, but do try these exercises while you're alone, okay?
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Let's take a look.
Mom was like, hey, Mia, do we hit the gym? I was like, who's gym? What do you have to do too? What are these people doing? People running and not getting anywhere. You know what yoga is? It's honey's in your face. Yuck! Everybody is so sweaty. The teacher says it's spiritual. I think I can smell the spiritual. People everywhere betting on themselves. I thought, you can't get better than this. Dennis do die. I'm convinced 200. Whatever. I can sit on a bench longer than that. Like, who are these people? Why they are so motivated? I don't know. I'm happy for them. Charles says the gym makes beefcakes. Well then, I'm a vegetarian again. My mom was like, hey Mia, do we hit the gym? I was like, who's gym? What do you have to do too? What are these
Videos are hilarious, and it's just like kind of taking adults' day-to-day life and just kind of putting a very funny spin on it. But I'd just like to get final words from you, Shabana, and yourself, Amar. Just for people that are watching, it's about owning your feelings. It's about not being trapped in an emotion prison. So what would you say to everyone that's watching? How can they make that weekend, that little tip that they can make that weekend a bit better?
Or
Love
life.
yourself.
Sorry?
Love yourself and believe in yourself that you are enough.
Okay.
And you just need to believe that.
Okay, and you have to. And we've been talking about techniques on how we
Because
can figure that out.
people who are not able to love themselves, they're not able to give any love or anything positive to other people.
Wow.
So we need to love ourselves first, and we need to believe that, for example, you need to believe I am enough.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's very
And not to
important.
that level where we actually become self-obsessed.
No,
towards
exactly.
No, when you truly love yourself, you don't become self-obsessed.
But-
It's the opposite.
But it's just about keeping the right balance.
Is the
Keep
balance,
balance.
which is what we're talking about throughout the show. And Amar, any final words?
Final word would be, as I mentioned a bit earlier, that it's very, very important to realize the difference between illusion and reality in your own life.
Absolutely.
It is very easy to fall into illusions regarding anything. We've heard a statement, a word called midlife crisis, which every man goes through. That is when he realizes he will not be a film actor and he will not be a sportsman. So
True.
So
that
he's
is
a
an-
banker now.
Yes, that is an illusion that we have carried through our teenage and when we've obviously proceeded with life. So the reality is sometimes harsh, but when you stick close to reality, then that makes life a bit easier. A bit dry, but a bit easier, definitely.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time. It's
Pleasure
been an
being
absolute
here. Thank
pleasure. Always a pleasure to have you on the show as well. And guys, it's very important aspects highlighted today about not being stuck in an emotional prison, owning the reality of your situation, and also not living in a fantasy land. And I think a lot of us are raised in that because, we're expected to, be leaders of the world. As you're growing up, you're always hearing stuff. But anyway, all the stories that we hear growing up as well, like our fathers and mothers, that you're going to be the president or the prime minister of Pakistan or England or whatnot. After a point, you have to wake up.
No, but I think I'm going to be optimistic over here. Do not
Absolutely.
stop believing in yourself. Do not stop chasing your dreams, but just maintain the balance.
Perfect, exactly. So with that, if you want any information, log on to our Facebook fan page,
Which is with the name of World This Morning.
Our Twitter page.
World This Morning without a G.
our Daily Motion YouTube page.
World This Morning, World This Morning.
Have a wonderful day. Look after your environment and your psychological health. We'll see you bright and early on Monday morning.
Till the next time, look after yourselves. 1, 2, 3. Good
Good morning.
morning.